In our last episode, the Institute found the Ticonderoga safe house. They left no survivors. We found the bodies of High-Rise and a number of railroad agents, but we didn't find the body of H222. Did the Institute retrieve him, or did he manage to escape? Upon arriving back at railroad headquarters, we learn that Pam wants to talk with us.
Pam wants to talk with you. She's in back.
And upon getting back there, we find Desdemona and Carrington.
Calculating. Institute presence increases odds of detection of all northern routes by 52%.
52%. That's prohibitively dangerous.
Wanderer, how do you feel about getting thrown back into the fire?
Is it that bad?
Potentially catastrophic.
Tell me about the job.
We're still working that out.
Doesn't anyone else work around here?
You sound just like Glory.
I'm on a first-name basis with fire.
You're in the right line of work, then. We've hit a snag with Dr. Amari. You've dealt with her before, but you may not know of the vital role she plays in our organization. Synths are supposed to go to the memory den. The doctor gives them a new set of memories, then they move out. But her latest patient is stuck there. The runner's route has been compromised, and we're looking for options.
Why do synths get new memories?
The mind job is voluntary. Each synth has his or her own reasons for opting in. Most do it to avoid being captured. A synth knows nothing about our world. There's dozens of ways they could slip up and draw attention to themselves.
We should clear the original route.
That's what Carrington's been saying all along.
Just find another route.
Finding a route that's safe from the Institute and all the other dangers isn't easy. From a given location, we're lucky if we have a handful. And so far, none of our options out of Good Neighbor work.
Well, tell me about the options.
We're trying to come up with another route that leads to the proper destination. Maybe... Pam, what if we reroute through Lexington?
The switchboard is a nexus of Institute activity. Odds of detection increase exponentially with proximity to the nexus.
In English, Pam.
She means we can't run ops anywhere remotely near Switchboard. The Gen 1s blocking the original route have to go.
Why is killing them our plan B?
Excellent question.
Assaulting an entrenched Institute position is always risky. I don't want to put one of our top agents in harm's way unless it's necessary.
Desdemona makes the call, not you, Carrington.
If she chooses to abandon reason, you're right. I can't stop her.
Enough.
I think the doctor's right.
You see? Even he agrees with me.
Enough.
Just tell me what to do.
I don't see a way out of this. We do it your way, Carrington. Go to Dr. Amari and tell her rerouting isn't possible. You're there to clear the route for one last run. There's a lot at stake here. So get the job done.
It's like the whole operation is going up in flames all around us. We've got to clear a safe route so that Dr. Amari's synths can get out of the Commonwealth. Heading to Good Neighbor, we can move into the memory den. There we find Dr. Amari waiting just behind Irma.
You're the contact H222 was talking about? Just when I thought one person could only experience so much danger in their life. The patient is resting right now. Were you hoping to say goodbye? I don't advise it. He's far past remembering anything about his old life.
The synth is H2. He managed to get out of Tychon. The Institute must have hit Tychon just after H2 left for the memory den.
Give him many good memories? Meetings with sexy strangers, that kind of thing?
It's a memory wipe, not a fantasy machine. His new world is very mundane and very normal. Nothing that would draw suspicion.
He doesn't remember anything?
I'm very thorough. His new life started in a small homestead near Roxbury. That's all he knows now. While you can talk to him, no amount of coaxing can reverse the process. He won't remember you, and he never will.
I didn't get a chance to say goodbye.
He talked quite a bit about you before I administered the anesthetic. I'm sorry you didn't have the opportunity.
I'm not here to talk, Doctor. I'm here to get the job done.
Then what's the plan for getting H2 out of here?
Can't he just stay here?
Out of the question. You people were the ones who explained to me that the railroad is about movement. That's what keeps you alive. Having a recently escaped synth stay too long in one place is a death sentence for all of us.
You don't need to know the details. Just tell me about the original route.
I understand. It's Malden Metro Center.
The plan? Kill everything in my way. That's the plan.
Glad you thought this through. But I don't suppose we have many other options. Malden Metro Center, that's where your problem is.
We have to use the original route. There's no other way.
That's the plan? I thought you people valued discretion. But fine. I won't argue. The Malden Metro Center is where you need to go. All the Gen 1s there need to be gone, understand? All of them. I'm leaving H222 and his future in your hands. Once he's gone, we never had this conversation. He was never here. Before you leave, take the holotape on the table. It's a personal message for your ears only.
Lying on a nearby table, we find a holotape. Goodbye from H222.
The doctor said I could say goodbye. I've decided to have the operation. I know I'll lose all my memories. I don't want you to be sad. I have nightmares. And this world, the SRB, being hunted, I just can't handle it. Everyone says I'll be safer if I start a new life. I know I'll be happier. My only regret is I'll forget Old Man Stockton, High Rise, and you. Looking back, there's only fear, worse than fear. But I will miss my new friends.
It's time, H2.
Thanks.
And here, sitting on the couch, is H2. But his memory is already gone.
Who are you? Hey, stay back.
And his accent has changed.
The doc said I got some sort of contagious disease or something. I'm under quarantine. I don't know what I got. I just woke up here. Wherever here is. As soon as the doctor says it's safe, I'm leaving.
The synth we knew as H2 is gone. But this guy is here, and we can keep him safe. According to Dr. Mari, the route goes through Malden Center, which is swarming with super mutants and mutant towns. This is really the safest route? Okay. After fighting through the mutants and the hounds, we arrive at Malden Center, only to find a familiar face.
Wait. We got assigned the same damn job? With all our compartmentalization bullshit, this sort of shit happens. You got the job from the good neighbor side. I got it from Griswold's safe house.
How's this sort of thing happen?
So Griswold's got trouble, and they send a cryptic note to HQ. Send in the big guns. And on the other side, the doctor's got troubles too. So she sends in her own damn cryptic note. And then comes the comedy.
Maybe we should send for more backup.
Drag that candy-ass Carrington out here too. I'd pay to see that.
Then they're just wasting my time.
Don't you know it?
That's the price we pay for security.
Don't tell me you buy into that crap. Sheesh. Well, since we're both here, what do you say the two heavies join forces and rock the heavens a little? Gives me a chance to see what you and Deacon really get up to in the field.
Usually it's spa days and macrame, but hey, I'm up for some mayhem.
You got any details on the op?
They barely told me where the hell I was supposed to go.
Now, we could send her packing.
I don't need the help.
Hey, if you got this covered, all yours. Been ages since I had some downtime. Just don't get yourself killed, okay?
Or we can join forces.
It's up to you.
Then let's show them how it's done.
Let's do this, Glory.
You lead the way, my friend.
We both got assigned to the same op. I suppose in an organization like the Railroad, where communication is so secretive, something like this is bound to happen. But we haven't spent much time with Glory. This is a great opportunity to work with her. The three of us can head inside Malden Center.
My Griswold boys gave me nothing about this place. All I know is Malden Center's hot.
Malden Center is hot with synths. As soon as we get down the escalator, we see them waiting for us.
Offline.
Moving forward, we find a red door to the right that's barred from the other side. So turning around, we can move down a staircase.
Oh, hell. Gen 1s. Man, if it's gotta be done. But can we just, I don't know, chase them off?
That's right. Glory doesn't like killing Gen 1s. She's the member of the Railroad who believes that all synths, including the clearly robotic ones, are people. But they're standing in our way and actively attacking us, so even she helps us with this fight. On the train platform, we have even more synths to destroy.
Is someone present?
And while we tried to go with subtlety and stealth, Glory just runs in with her minigun. Alright, so this isn't a stealth mission. Noted.
Big mistake. You're going down.
Shutting down.
You
Please
think
stand
that
still.
is going to stop me? You think that is going to...
I cannot allow these attacks to continue.
That's how you do it.
It looks like Malden Center was recently a raider hideout. We find raider bodies littering the ground here and there. Presumably these synths recently moved in looking for runaway synths and killed the raiders here.
Looks like the poor little raiders got their clocks cleaned by the Gen 1s. Kind of a win-win situation for our team.
My thoughts exactly, Glory. Exploring this raider den, we find some chems, some food. There's an advanced locked door against a northern wall with some food and water and a terminal. Food storage terminal. Inside we find two options. In the first inventory update, looks like we're pretty well stocked on canned food for right now. The last raid on a caravan seemed to have paid off. Water supply is good. A few rads ain't gonna hurt anyone. As usual, we're running low on liquor and beer. I convinced everyone to hold off on the partying so we can keep all the clear liquors for medical purposes next time someone gets shot or needs a limb taken off. Brown liquors are still fair game, so no one seemed to complain. I've got to say, we've made a good little life for ourselves down here. It beats getting scorched to death back by those nut jobs in Saugus, that's for damn sure. So long as no one pisses off our mean green neighbors up in West Everett, I think we could make a go of it down here. He's complaining about the super mutants at the West Everett Estates? I mean, there were some right outside Malden. They're a bit closer. And the next one, Gus, read this. You stinking bad jerk person. I will not tell you again. I come down here and find us low on dog food, I will put a bullet in that empty skull of yours. I know you're the one eating it, you stinking moron. No one else eats that crap as long as we got other food. I should have left you to rot when I found you, Gus. Don't you ever forget that. Wait, Gus likes dog food? I suppose in this post-apocalypse you can develop a taste for anything. So these guys were raiders who worked with the crew at Saugus Ironworks. But they were sick of the flames and decided to make their own home. Too bad for them that the Institute decided to raid it. We find a Fat Man launcher at the end of these tracks, a novice-locked suitcase with clothing and armor inside, a Protectron terminal, but the Protectron is destroyed. It's not in its charging dock. Next to this is a broken door with a chem cooler inside, and in the next restroom we find Jet in the sink.
You are one ass-kicking machine. And Deacon, you ain't so bad either.
Well, I aims to please.
Really? Since when?
Thank you, Glory. I'll take the compliment. There's a tripwire protecting this back area. It's connected to a makeshift bomb, and behind the counter we find a cap stash and some Jet. After looting some bobby pins by a cash register, we can move west. At the end of this hallway, we find a synth, and we can try to take him out from distance. Sorry, Glory. We're gonna go in quietly for now. Looks like this pathway leads to even more synths, but I wanted to see what was at the end of the track. So moving inside the ruined train cars, we can loot some chems, say hello to the skeleton of the engineer, open a couple of containers, loot a cap stash, and listen to more of Glory's sophisticated musings.
I always get lost in places like this. Why can't the bad guys be in one place? Clustered together real tight. Boom.
If only it were that easy, Glory. At the end of the tracks, we hear synths, but it's kind of dark and it's kind of dusty. They can't see us, but we can just pick out their silhouette. Our Pip-Boy tells us that there's a machine gun turret nearby. Creeping onto this platform, we can disarm a laser gun trap connected to a cymbal-clucking monkey. But peering down the end of this tracks, we don't see anything else. The turret must be in an adjoining room. Well, this is a dead end, so heading back to the train, and again moving to the platform, we can navigate behind this other room where at last we find the machine gun turret. After looting a few containers here, we find ourselves on the other side of an advanced locked door. Peering through, we see that this is the room that we shot into when we shot down the hallway. And I'd rather not pick a door, so heading back to the other side, we can creep into the room instead of having to pick the advanced locked door. Looks like the synth we killed in here was the only one. So after looting the room, we can open an elevator door and take the elevator down to the ground floor. Stepping out of the elevator cautiously, we see a bunch of synths in this room. Poor Glory probably feels like a third wheel right now, but hey, we're getting the job done. We find an ammo canister on a pushcart in this room, a couple of containers, and a fusion core in a fusion generator. After looting the dead and unlocking a novice-locked toolbox, we can move through a hole in the wall to find a passage lit with strings of light. Looks like the raiders were playing a game here. We find teddy bears and bottles on a girder, and next to us, a bin filled with baseballs. I tried to pick one up and throw it. But I wasn't very good. The raiders here, of course, are dead. We can loot the bodies and a nearby duffel bag, and then move down the staircase and through the doorway to creep down a hallway, whereupon we find more dead raiders.
Who's there? You were so dead.
Soon, we hear gunfire coming from a neighboring room. Peering around a corner, we find synths attacking raiders. So the synths literally just arrived. They fought their way through half of the facility and are still in the process of cleaning it out. Moving into the room, we can engage both the synths and the raiders. I tried to pick a few off, but Glory wasn't having any of it. She stands in the doorway with her minigun and just lays into them.
No life signs detected.
And that's it for the Gen 1s. Looks like the synths killed the remaining raiders before we could even enter the room. There are a lot of synths and raider corpses here. Looks like this was the primary raider hive.
Generally a fan of being underground, but Malden's got a lot of bad sightlines.
This train terminal is filled with an assortment of shack buildings. There's a lot of loot to be had. Of note, in one of the train cars, we find a copy of Tumblers Today.
Bingo.
Locksmith Certification Special. Pass with flying colors. Lockpicking is permanently easier. If we cleared this place before the quest, then of course we'd have randomized raiders here. But if this is our first time here, the raider band is led by a boss named Helter Skelter, possibly named after a Beatles song or a British fairground attraction. But he doesn't carry any interesting loot. After scouring every square inch of this place for each and every piece of loot, and of course looting the end of dungeon steamer trunk, we can head through a door in the southern wall bathed in bright white light. This leads to a small room with another elevator inside. After looting the lockers and stepping into the elevator, Glory takes us aside.
And Malden is secure. I'll tell Griswold the package is incoming. It's been a goddamn pleasure. Even you, D-Man.
So, group hug? Yes? No?
Always the comedian.
Finally, it's over.
I guess I overstayed my welcome.
The pleasure was all mine.
Aw, now I'm going to cry.
See you later.
If everything runs like it's supposed to, our paths shouldn't cross again in the field. But knowing how pear-shaped things go, see you around.
Deacon steps into the elevator, but Glory stays down here. Presumably she's heading off to Griswold, perhaps back the way we came. At the top of the elevator shaft, we loot a Nuka-Cola machine, and we find ourselves on the other end of that chained red door. So, heading up the escalator, we can head back out to the Commonwealth and make our way back to Railroad headquarters. At last, we've got some good news to share.
The route's been cleared. H222 is safe to move.
I know. I already got an earful from Glory about Malden. Operational security is worth the occasional crossed wire. Anyway, Amari reports H-222 made it out safely.
Anything else I need to do?
No. You've bought us time to find a new route out of the memory den.
I was hoping for more than a pat on the back.
Fair point.
It was good to help out H2 again.
Looks like he has a guardian angel.
Then it all worked out.
The crisis is over for now. Take this. You've earned it.
With that, we complete Memory Interrupted, and we get a Railroad Stealth Boy. Taking a look at this item in our inventory, we see that it has a striking resemblance to Carrington's prototype. And piecing the two together, we realized that the prototype we retrieved from the switchboard was the prototype for the Railroad Stealth Boy. Completing this quest is the only way to get our hands on the Railroad Stealth Boy. The only difference between this and the regular Stealth Boy is that the stealth field it generates lasts 10 seconds longer. 40 seconds instead of the regular Stealth Boy's 30 seconds. Additionally, the Railroad Stealth Boy has no activation animation, which means that in a pinch, we can turn it on faster than a regular Stealth Boy, and it lasts longer. After completing this quest, Tinker Tom will occasionally sell these in his inventory. A bit later, Desdemona tells us that H-222 made it out.
H-222 made it out of the Commonwealth. It's a tradition to down a glass for your first successful run. Well done.
At last, our work is producing some positive results. High-Rise may have sacrificed his life. We might have lost an entire safe house, but at least we saved the life of H2, if not his mind. We've got a little break for now. We can continue working with the Institute, trying to stay in cover, but soon, very soon, I'm sure, Desdemona will have something new for us. I publish new Fallout videos each and every week on my channel, so if you don't want to miss what that might be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. If you feel like you have already, but you're still not getting YouTube notifications, consider following me on Twitter at Oxhorn. I update Twitter manually with every new piece of content that I publish. I'm happy to announce my brand new Ox plushie is available for pre-order. It'll be shipping at the end of Q1 2024, but stock is limited. If you want to get your hands on one of these Oxhorn plushies, now's the time to do it. You can find a link to my plushie in the description below. Additionally, I've got a shirt shop with completely unique designs that you can't find anywhere else. My designs come on shirts in a variety of men's, women's, and children's sizes, and in a wide array of colors. You can find them on other products as well, like smartphone cases, pillows, posters, mugs, stickers, prints, etc. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you like what I do and you want to support me in another way, consider becoming a patron on Patreon or a member here on YouTube. YouTube members get little badges that appear next to their names in the comment sections of my videos, and they gain access to Ox emojis that they can use in my video comments and in the live chats of my live streams. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with the next episode in the full story of Fallout 4.
What in the hell is that? We gotta get to that crash site. Even if it means Tinker gets to say, "I told you so."